Hi, welcome to another episode of I Am Trans News. I am your hostess, as always, Nirvana Beta, and today we're going to be talking about a trans man saying that he felt safe being pregnant during the pandemic, and he wants to normalize his story and make others feel the same way, okay? So, the gentleman you're looking at right here is pregnant, and his name is Erik Carter, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and read some of this article. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, okay? Before I transitioned, this is him speaking. This is Erik. Before I transitioned at 30, I had a significant amount of adult experiences as outwardly female. I was super gender queer, but an outwardly female identity was what he portrayed. As a not yet self-realized trans person, I have connected to womanhood and motherhood or stories of that sort of thing because they always felt attached to a gender that I didn't identify with. As I went through my gender evolution in terms of how I understood myself, I started thinking more and more about my body and what it does, less in terms of gender and more in terms of function. One thing that my body can do is carry a baby, and when I started thinking about all the cisgendered men who are with other cisgendered men who can't carry children, and how lucky that makes me, I think about all the trans women who were assigned male at birth who couldn't carry a baby, and how lucky that makes me. I can both experience my transness and be part of having a woman or part of having a child in this way. I realized, this is actually really kind of radical and very cool. It says here, their partner and them decided that they wanted kids earlier on in their relationship, but they never talked about how it was going to happen specifically. 8 months after they met, they had an appointment with a specialist about possibly getting a hysterectomy because Erik had been on hormones had been on hormones long enough that that he was starting to have some issues. Okay. Erik told his partner what was going on. He was visibly disappointed. He didn't try to talk me out of it, but he said, "Oh well, that's unfortunate because I thought we might have kids someday." Their partner's a man, Malk. I don't know. Anyway, so knowing I was coming off of 5 years on hormones, I didn't know what to expect. So there was a lot of unknowns. Okay, as I was turning 37 and all those other things together made us think about our journey and all that. Okay, so it says here, I think the first time we actually tried to get pregnant was in January 2020 and it didn't work. The second time we tried to get pregnant was in February and it worked. It worked really fast. It says here, Milk came home from one of the digital pregnancy tests. I peed on the stick, and I swear, by the time I stood up and walked out the bathroom, it said pregnant. I spent the entire year buckled in a townhouse in a valley, being pregnant and riding out a global pandemic. Quarantine was a blessing and a curse. I feel like from a safety standpoint, it protected me from potential outside violence as a trans non-conforming person who was visibly pregnant. Okay. It protected me from having a lot of coming out conversations about my pregnancy in person, which I think allowed people to process it, especially at work, because of the way I chose to do it. I gave people resources so if they had any questions or discomfort, they had some place to go that wasn't me. all of that was really great. Okay. This is the last part. I want this kind of story to be more normalized so that people stop seeing pregnancy as something that is just attached to womanhood, because that oppresses a lot of people, specifically trans men. All right, so let me know what y'all think about this in the comments section. I want to know, did Erik have his baby yet, or like what's going on? Honestly, I feel like no one would have known that they were pregnant, because you know plenty of men have bellies, and people would have just thought he had a beer gut or something like that. But anyway, yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment sections below. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, I'm Novana Beta, and this is I Am Trans News.